Today's video is about how to read a nutrition label. Introduction: nutrition, labels, and a healthy body. People often say you are what you eat. That's because what you eat can have a major impact on your health. That means it's important to understand what nutrition you need to maintain a healthy body. This includes making sure you get the right amount of water, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, and vitamins. Your recommended nutrient intake is also known as the Recommended Dietary Allowance, or RDA, which is based on guidelines set by the Food and Nutrition Board of the Institute of Medicine. Each person's recommended intake depends on many factors, like their age, gender, activity level, and other factors. The RDA of a certain nutrient is the suggested daily amount of that nutrient that is sufficient to meet the needs of 97.5% of healthy people in that age and gender group. You might have noticed labels with numbers on the sides and backs of many foods at the grocery store. In fact, most foods sold in supermarkets are required to have a nutrition label listing the nutrition facts and all of that food's ingredients. The nutrition facts tell you about how much one serving is, how much energy the food gives you, usually in calories, and how much fat, protein, carbohydrates, vitamins, and minerals the food contains. Pay attention to both the quantity of your food, how much you eat, and the quality, how healthy the food is for your body. In order to know what you're eating and how different kinds of food affect your health, it's important to be able to read and understand what the food labels mean. Let's go through an example of this process by looking at a container of plain Quaker oatmeal. First, let's look at the serving size. For this food, it's 1/2 cup uncooked, or 40 grams. The nutrition facts on the label tell you about how much energy and nutrients are in one serving. If you eat 1 cup, that would be 2 servings, so you'd have to double everything you see on the nutrition label to calculate the energy and nutrients you're taking in. Next, let's look at how many calories are in 1 serving of this food: 150. Calories are a measurement of energy. The number of calories in a serving of food is the amount of energy 1 serving gives you. Remember, if you eat more than 1 serving, you need to multiply the calorie amount by the number of servings you're eating. For example, for this food, 1 serving gives you 150 calories, but if you eat 2 servings, you'd have to multiply the calorie intake by 2, or 300 calories. All calories from foods come from 3 food groups: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Carbohydrates and proteins both contain 4 calories per gram, while fats yield more calories per gram, 9 calories per gram. Carbohydrates are abundant in breads, pasta, rice, sugar, fruits, and vegetables. Proteins are abundant in foods like meats, eggs, milk, yogurt, and beans, and fats are abundant in oil, butter, and nuts. All of these nutrients are important for your health, so make sure you eat some of each one every day to maintain a balanced diet. The exact number of calories you need every day to stay healthy depends on a lot of factors, like your age, your gender, and your lifestyle or activity level. In general, most women need between about 1,800 and 2,000 calories per day, while men need a little bit more, at about 2,000 to 2,500 calories per day. You don't have to eat this exact number of calories every single day. Some days, you might just feel less or more hungry. But in general, you should make sure it all averages out if you want to avoid gaining weight by eating too many calories or losing weight by eating too few. Next up, we're going to talk about percent daily value, or RDA, of this food, like we talked about earlier in the video. The percentages you'll see on this label are based on a hypothetical or imaginary 2,000 calorie per day diet. The label tells you what percent of each nutrient 1 serving of the food gives you. So just like with calories, if you eat 2 servings, you'll have to double every percent you see on the label. Next, let's talk about fat. Oatmeal has 3 grams of fat per serving. Notice how there are many different kinds of fat on the label here: saturated fat, trans fat, and unsaturated fats. You need to eat some fat in order to have a healthy diet, but unsaturated fat, which usually means fats that are oily or liquid at room temperature, is better for you than saturated or solid fat and trans fat, which is found in many packaged foods. In general, it's recommended that you eat less than 20 grams of saturated fat per day. Trans fats are especially harmful to your cardiovascular or heart health. They're often called bad fats. Try to eat as little trans fat as possible for a healthy diet. Next, let's look at cholesterol. This food doesn't have any cholesterol. That's because no plant products contain any cholesterol. Only animal products do. You need to eat some cholesterol for good health, but too much or too little is not good for you. For most people, you should get less than 300 milligrams of cholesterol per day, but make sure you're getting some of it in your diet. Next, let's look at sodium. Sodium is another word for salt, like the kind you might keep on your dining room table. It's very important to get enough sodium, but too much, which usually means more than about 2,400 milligrams, can be bad for your health, especially if you have high blood pressure or kidney problems already. Now, let's look at carbohydrates, also known as carbs. Oatmeal contains 27 grams of carbohydrates. But some sources of carbohydrates are healthier than others. Vegetables, fruits, and brown carbohydrates, like whole wheat bread, brown rice, and oatmeal, are generally more nutritious and keep you full for a longer time. This is because they usually contain more fiber, vitamins, and minerals than white carbohydrates like white bread, cakes, and cookies. White carbohydrates often have many of their nutrients removed while also having extra sugar added. And remember, too much sugar isn't good for your body. Dietary fiber is another kind of carbohydrate that doesn't contain any calories in it. However, it's very important for digestion, bowel movements, and weight control. Fiber helps keep you full. Getting at least 25 grams of fiber per day is recommended. You can find fiber in foods like oatmeal and other whole grain foods, and fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Next, let's talk about protein. Oatmeal has 5 grams of protein per serving. Protein is an important part of your cells, and it also helps you build strong muscles, hair, and nails. You might notice that this label doesn't list an RDA or percent daily value for protein, but getting about 50 grams per day or more if you're active or growing is recommended. Last, let's look at vitamins and minerals. Vitamins and minerals are important for health, although they don't provide energy, or contain calories, directly. Different foods contain different vitamins and minerals, so it's important to eat a varied and balanced diet with lots of fruits and vegetables. If you don't think you're getting all the vitamins and minerals you need, you can talk to your doctor about taking vitamin tablets every day.